Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to some EVE Online, and in today's video we are going to do a little bit of porpoise mining, or is it purpose mining, porpoise mining, not sure how to pronounce that. CCP and their names. Basically, what's the story behind this little video? A viewer gifted me this lovely looking ship, a porpoise mining command ship, and wanted me to showcase it in a video, and that's what we're going to do right here. So I did a quick fit based only on trying to get a little bit of tank on that and getting some mining yield from the rigs, which is really all you can do. If you're looking at this from a mining ship perspective, not a boosting ship perspective, and we're going to compare that a little bit, do a little bit of mining with it, and see if it's actually worth it. So first of all, obviously you're mining with drones, so what's most important is that you stick close to your asteroids. The reason is, of course, that your drones need to do a little bit of traveling, and the way I prefer to do it personally is, especially if you want to somewhat AFK, if you want to like pay some attention to your second screen or anything like that, I like to just grab 5 asteroids and then put one mining drone on each asteroid, which would go like that, and then just position your ship a little bit in between all of these asteroids to try and get the travel time at least within 2 kilometers. I think if you're within 2 kilometers you have to be decently unlucky. Let's stop the ship here, that your drones won't just basically deposit the ore right away into your cargo hold or your ore hold, and continue mining with as small a delay as possible. So this is basically your most AFK setup. Just go for 5 drones, put your individual mining drones on that, and obviously it'll take them more time to get through any of these asteroids than just putting all of them on a single asteroid. If you want the most efficient way, I do still think that putting 5 mining drones on a single asteroid, sticking very close to that and then moving on, is a bit more efficient, but it's also a little bit more intense when it comes to micromanaging, and you never know when you're really unlucky that you have 5 drones doing a cycle. The first one already empties out the asteroid. That could cost you a little bit of time. So honestly, I don't feel like it's worth worrying about too much. This is about as efficient as you'll get it, as long as, of course, you can stick to 5 nearby asteroids. Here, for instance, what I would do after finishing these 5 asteroids, I would move on to these 4 probably, then this little group right here, then we need to move on to another group, etc, etc, etc. So the first batch of ore has been mined here, and you can see it's around 1111 cubic meters per minute from these 5 mining drone 2s. I'll be honest, if you're looking at this from a mining ship perspective, you're probably looking to go from Venture to Porpoise and then to the Orca. Is that a good idea? I think it's doable. I actually think it's doable because 1100 cubic meters is not all that bad. Here's the quick fit that I put together. It's really not great, but you know what can you do? You have mining drone augmenter 1, then 2 mining drone augmenter 2s in the rigs, which gives you the yield together with mining drone 2s. In the low slot you have a damage control and reinforced bulkhead for more HP, and then I just have thermal, kinetic, EM, and adaptive invulnerability for 66,000 EHP. It's not great, but for the cost, I think the whole cost around 70 million. This fitting with the drones is probably around another 50 million, so it's 120 million for this porpoise. Then you can of course add some boosting. Not sure how much it's going to you're going to be able to add with the CPU, but I think 1 or 2 boosters should be possible for this porpoise. And so yeah, I think it will work out, especially if we go and compare it to the rest. This is 1100 cubic meters per minute. The Orca at maximum yield is let me see here, 1665, so maybe a third less or something like that, considering the cheaper cost and the skills needed. I don't think it's all that bad. So let's quickly go back here. This is basically how I would mine if I would be mining in a porpoise. Oops, we actually have a crusader with a kill right that is coming. into my citadel there. We gotta be a little careful there with possible pirates roaming around, but for now we're still free porting. Anyone can dock, and yeah, this is basically how you would mine in the Porpoise. Let's quickly dock and then give you guys a little bit of a comparison to the other mining ships that I've got there. Of course, the Orca is what you're going to shoot for. I personally still think that, especially if you're planning to mine solo, you want to go for the Orca. A big advantage that you're seeing here in the Porpoise is you'll be able to mine for a very long time without having to dock. 62,500 cubic meters of ore hold is definitely not bad compared to any of the other mining barges. Even the Mackinac doesn't come close. So let's quickly drop this stuff in the item hanger, since I did just mine that. And maybe for comparison's sake, I'll quickly, so here is the fit once again. We're talking 1100 cubic meters a minute. We're talking full drone rigs and 66,000 HP if you activate everything, and 120 million in cost. Compare this to a Skiff. This is like a Skiff that also has some decent tanking on it. This one happens to do, let me quickly check on my cheat sheet. The Skiff does 1,132 cubic meters a minute. So this is about the same as the Porpoise. You can see also 65,000 EHP. So it's very similar, but the biggest disadvantage, of course, is that the ore hold is going to be quite a little bit less. Where does it show the ore hold? Maybe I'll just have to do show info, then attributes, and ore hold. Do I really have to undock to find this out, or can I just go? Oh, there we go. The ore hold is only 15,000 cubic meters on the Skiff here. So very similar in capabilities, very similar in tank, but only 15,000 cubic meters. A very big drawback. And another big drawback as well, if you go for the requirements, you can see here mining barge 5 exhumers. You need a lot of skills for that, but not only this, you also need, show info, you also need the skills for your strip miner tools. You need crystals. So there are a lot of drawbacks going for a Skiff. Compare that to the Porpoise that we just have over here. Then if we do a show info on the required skills here, that's a lot less. You do need, of course, industrial command ships, which is or industrials. But you can see, I actually think that you can skill into the Porpoise a lot more easily than into mining barges. And you'll be stuck in this one for a long time if you're going directly from Venture to Porpoise to Orca. It's true, but I actually think that it could be worth it just because of the fewer skills that you will have to train up. And then, of course, your final destination is this baby right here, which is the Orca, which has 263,000. I think if I activate everything, it's a lot more, which also has a yield of 1,665 cubic meters. So is this doable? Oh, and maybe also if I do a quick show info on the required skills, you can see right here, it's not even all that far off the Porpoise. And then all you really need to train for after that are your drones. Show info. Requirements here again, mining drone specialization, but this is in skill trees. This is a lot easier, and I think it's going to actually save you a lot of time if you're willing to grind out an Orca mining in a Porpoise. So let's maybe take this baby out for one last time, or should I quickly compare that? Maybe I'll quickly compare this as well to the Skiff. So let's get in the Skiff, and then let's get out here. They finally patched it so that when your session timer is still busy, but you press undock, it's going to remember that, and it's going to undock you in the end. So let's go back to the co-incorporated belt right here. Go like that. Activate my resistances here as well. Now we have 109,000 EHP. I have to be honest here, with the resistances on, the Skiff is quite a bit more tanky than the Porpoise. And if I look at the market price, well, it's also quite a bit more expensive than the Porpoise. So I'm not exactly sure if you'd wanna stick to the stick to the tree of all of these exhumers, or it's also a Tech 2 ship, so more expensive, yeah, lots harder to skill. Let's kill all of those guys, and after that what you would want to do here for the mining, of course, you can take a couple of larger asteroids to start mining. And then you need the right crystal, which I don't have right here. Yeah, just, you know, a lot of stuff to think about. I would need to find 2 Pyroxeras, which need to be big enough for full cycles. You would need to go like this. Small advantage, you can actually take care of the rats while your mining is still somewhat operational. If you're unlucky, you get a lot of rats and you're mining in the Orca or in the Porpoise, you're not going to be doing any mining while you're taking care of that one. At least with an exhumer, it's still going. Then you can once again, you just need 1, maybe 2 really nearby asteroids for your mining drones. Go like that, and there we go. We're at the same yield as a Porpoise. We do have more tank, but it is substantially more expensive, and it is also substantially more skill intensive, because as you go here, you can see all the requirements here. Mining barge 5 for a Tech 2 ship, that's quite a lot. Astrogeology 5 as well, industry 5. It's quite a lot to do. On top of that, you need the skills, which you'll need for the Porpoise anyway, to get into your mining drones. And very importantly, you will also need the skills, show info, for a Tech 2 strip miner, which again is deep core mining. You need astrogeology science and all of that stuff. So there is some overlap, of course, but overall I would say that the Porpoise is definitely a possible alternative to the exhumers, to the retriever. I don't think that the retriever, unless you're gonna make it paper thin, is going to get anywhere near the same yield and tank as the Porpoise. And yeah, Tech 2s, they become a lot more expensive for basically the exact same thing. So we'll let this cycle run through. Also keeping in mind, of course, you need Tech 2 crystals on that, 78% damage. At some point you're gonna lose that. Slight extra cost as well, a little bit of logistics that you need to do. In my opinion, if you're going to solo mine, I just like the easiness, the smoothness of the Porpoise to Orca way of thinking. You need your drones, you need your ship, that's it. 15,000 cubic meters. This is going to be a lot more trips than in the Porpoise as well. So overall, yeah, you can go for this if you want the absolute best and you're mining in a group. Of course, you want to end up in a Hulk, unless of course you want to go for the absolute best ship out there, but that's quite a bit more expensive, of course, and you can only do that in nullsec. But here we go. The cycle time of these strip miners is more than 2 minutes, so you get 2,700, but we've been going for 2 minutes rather than just 1 minute for the drones. And then let's dock back up. So it's similar, right? I would say a Porpoise can be considered pretty similar to a well-tanked mining barge, even to this Skiff, but I feel it's definitely a very good and possible alternative, especially for people that are considering some solo mining. I would not hesitate. In fact, I would say, yeah, try to go for the venture, then go straight into the Porpoise. Then it's gonna be a pretty long grind if you need to grind out an Orca in this one, but you're not going to get that much of a better yield for the investments and the skill points required to jump into something like a Machina or a Skiff or things like that. Can you get more out of this? Yes, it's true. You could go for a very greedy fit on the Skiff, on the Retriever, on the Machina, make it paper thin, get as much out of that as possible. You're going to mine more than this Porpoise, but to be honest, the Porpoise is not bad at all. It's gonna be a lot safer than those paper thin mining barges. It's going to get you there as well, and skill wise, logistics wise, this is just a hell of a lot easier. You've got your ship, your fittings, it's really all in the rigs. That's what you want to get at. After that, just improve your tank a little bit, get Tech 2 drones, which is what I really would focus on first. With the Porpoise, you know, just take your time, relax, enjoy this ship, And in fact, something that you could consider as well, if you're in this situation and then you want to upgrade to an Orca, what you could do is, as you can afford them, start replacing your Tech 2 mining drones with augmented drones. Mine repeatedly. No one has ever tried to kill mine, so overall I think it's decently alright to risk them. Again, don't fly or use anything you can't afford to lose. But the Porpoise like this, then upgrade to augmented mining drones. I will actually get your yield from 1113 cubic meters a minute to 1250 cubic meters a minute, which is starting to be quite decent compared to the maximum yield with augmented drones of 1665 of the Orca. And you actually have a very viable alternative, a very viable skill path, which to me personally makes most sense for solo players. If you're going to mine solo anyway, you want to go for the best that is going to not require you to do too many trips, and that is actually going to be Venture, Porpoise and the Orca. So thank you very much for the gift. I really do appreciate the ship. I've got a little bit of an alternative here. Considering that I already have an Orca, I might actually want to change the fit and maybe take this one into nullsec a little bit or something like that, or try to make it a bait Porpoise for lowsec. Something like that is possible as well, because you can probably get some decent DPS out of medium drones from this baby as well. And yeah, my personal opinion on the Porpoise mining, yeah, it's a viable alternative, especially for solo miners that don't want to scale into towards the Hulk, but in fact want to jump straight into Porpoise and then into the Orca. I think it's very doable, and I think it could actually be the right choice for people that like to mine for long sessions and mostly alone. So that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.